This video is an introduction to some of the integration use cases between Blue Coat's network security products and Carbon Black's endpoint detection response solution. Blue Coat has continued to expand its advanced threat protection by partnering with endpoint response vendors to deliver comprehensive security, combining the best of both network and endpoint intelligence and threat remediation capabilities. This video will showcase some of these use cases with the Carbon Black endpoint solution. In this demonstration, a zero-day malware executable will be delivered to a Windows 7 system through a malicious website. The network is being monitored by several Blue Coat products, and the endpoint has the Carbon Black agent installed. We will then look at two different use cases for identifying this threat and gaining maximum visibility and context from both the network and endpoint perspective. The first use case is intended for incident responders, where a threat has been identified being delivered through the network by Blue Coat Technologies, and now it's important to quickly know if this threat actually made it to the endpoint and what actual behaviors are taking place. The actual integration is a pivot integration designed for efficient workflow. The incident responder could be analyzing information in security analytics and needs to quickly and accurately look at the impact of the same data in Carbon Black. This is achieved by right-clicking on varying metadata in security analytics, such as file names, domain information, and even file hashes, and then launching into Carbon Black with this information pre-populated for searching. We begin this demonstration by looking at an email our user of the Windows 7 system has received. The email is tricking the user into visiting a website where he can download new movies for free. At the website, the user downloads an executable and runs it, as he believes this is a program to get the new movies. Upon installation, the program does not appear to work and gives an error. The program did actually work as intended by the malware author, and the malware was installed. The error message is only part of the trickery. As we act as an incident responder, looking in Blue Coat Security Analytics, we see that this zero-day threat was detected as malware through the integration with Blue Coat's malware analysis. A click on the reputation report icon shows file deletions, registry modifications, auto-start additions, and writing to the System32 folder, so it would appear there are valid reasons to be concerned. My next step as the incident responder is to understand where this file came from, so I click on View Artifacts to take me to the extraction page with the flow ID where this file came from pre-populated in my search. I can see the file and the website it was delivered from. I want to remove the flow ID and focus on the IP address to see what other activity took place during this time. There is lots of activity by the user, but I want to focus on the movie download executable, so I find that artifact and click on Explore Root Cause. The root cause traces back the steps to this file delivery, and I see the black hole domain where this file was downloaded from, as well as the email URL where the link was originally clicked. I recreate the black hole webpage as the user viewed it to get even more visual context. We see exactly what the user did when they visited the website at that moment in time. At this point, I understand where the threat was delivered from, but I need to quickly see if it actually made it to the endpoint and was executed by the user. Right-clicking on the MD5 hash brings up reputation information where I can quickly pivot into Carbon Black with the MD5 pre-populated in a process search. By using the MD5, we can actually see this file on any system, even if it's under a different name. Sure enough, the file has been detected by Carbon Black. By clicking on the file for more details, I can see that DLLs were loaded and that directories were accessed. At this point, I know the malware not only landed on the system, but was executed. I immediately can take action with Carbon Black to isolate this host and prevent further compromise. The second use case will look at detection for network and security operations. In this case, threats entering the network have somehow circumvented Blue Coat's technologies and landed on the endpoint. A common way would be through a USB stick, which would never have touched the network. Blue Coat Technologies can still work with endpoint detection and response to enhance the endpoint security through integration. In this use case, Carbon Black has found a file on the system with unknown reputation. Carbon Black submits the file to Blue Coat Malware Analysis Appliance. The Malware Analysis Appliance then detonates the file in the virtual environment and looks for malicious activities. Carbon Black then queries for the results, and the reputation is returned and displayed in a threat report in the Carbon Black interface. An analyst using the Carbon Black system with Blue Coat's malware analysis integration would begin by looking at the threat intelligence page. From here, clicking on threat reports would bring up all the files that have been submitted. All the files are now listed with their matching indicators and threat scores. Threat scores below 60 are considered benign, and above are considered potential malware. By default, sorting is done by severity, but clicking on the Sort By button, this order can be changed to most recent. We can see that there have been several files delivered to the malware analysis appliance with varying verdict, but most of these are considered benign. Our most recent file, which is the malware we downloaded earlier in the demo, does show a threat score of 90. Now, while this was delivered through the web and detected by Blue Coat products, this could have easily been the same file copied over through USB or some other method that never passed through Blue Coat's inspection. Clicking on report details will give us more information, such as the MD5 of the file and the time of the event. But in addition, there is also another pivot integration into Blue Coat's malware analysis appliance to quickly investigate the details of this task within that interface. Now, not only do we have the score, but we have all the details of how this malware behaved in the virtual environment. Now that the analyst has verified the threat, steps can easily be taken back in the Carbon Black interface to isolate the host and reduce the impact of this compromise. The benefits of integration greatly improve our ability to understand threats and to remediate the impact. Thank you.